What is up, guys? ZDB Shoes here, and today I just wanted to talk a little more about sneaker reselling. So the other day I made a video about Stockx versus Goat, which one you should use in what situations, and I kind of started thinking today, those are not the only two things that I use to resell sneakers on. In fact, they're probably not even my favorite things to sell sneakers on. As far as ease of use, they're great, and that's why I use them a lot. But there are also some other things that you guys know of and that everyone knows of that are very useful sources in selling shoes, and that's Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and eBay. And eBay is obviously the most classic version of, a place to sell stuff, a place to resell stuff. Most of you guys know how it works, but I'm going to kind of touch on the pros and cons of these really quick. So I'll jump into eBay first. So eBay is super easy to use since it's been around so long. You just basically snap a picture, and what I do is find a listing that somebody has made before for the same exact thing I'm selling and just copy their listing, change it to my, they even have a button you can hit that says sell one like this. It just copies their listing over. You change it to the price you want, you change it to the info you want. Maybe it's a different size if we're selling sneakers, or if we're selling, streetwear or something like that, it could still be a different size. Maybe you want to do buy now instead of auction, whatever. Super easy to use. And the beauty of using eBay is that, yes, you do have to pay final value fees and your seller fees and things like that, but a lot of times they end up being a lot less than the StockX fees and the Goat fees that you would pay. In some cases, Goat takes 15% of your sale. That's a lot, guys. So if you want to make a little more money and possibly have a quicker sale, eBay is a viable option. I've seen shoes go for more money on eBay also. It just depends, because I know some people using eBay that want those shoes may not know the market as well as people who use Goat and StockX, so they might be willing to pay more. But I have found for the most part that people are very resourceful and research, and they don't want to pay less than what the current market value for the shoe is. So, but I have seen things go for a little bit more sometimes on eBay. Now, the bad thing about eBay is that there's no way to, and this isn't going to hurt you if you're selling. It might hurt you if you're selling, if somebody accuses you of this, but it's not going to hurt you as much as it would if you're buying. There's no way to verify it's real. Now, eBay does have, I don't know if they have insurance or something, but if you get something that's fake and you send a claim to eBay, and you make them step in, they can step in and refund your money. I think it takes a while. I actually had something happen like that with a guy who sold me some fake Jordan 1s one time, and it was dumb. I shouldn't have bought it because he had less than 50 total sales. So, but anyway, and he ended up having to refund my money because I claimed that they were fake and I sent them back and everything. So, so that's kind of the con, is the service that Goat and StockX provide is that they verify your shoes. That's a service you're paying for, as well as the shipping and everything. And another good thing about eBay is that you can put the burden of shipping on the person who buys it, which I think you can do that on Goat or StockX too, but you can choose. You can pay shipping to make the seller or to make the buyer feel like they're getting a good deal, or you can have the other person pay, or you can pay, whatever you feel like. Now, I do use eBay a good bit, and sometimes I find that my stuff sells on eBay before it sells on the other platforms. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for, is the quickest sell. I want to get it out of my hands. I want to get money. If it's a difference of 10 or 20 bucks, I usually don't care. I just want to flip it as fast as I can. So I do like to use eBay a lot. So then, Facebook Marketplace. I found that Facebook Marketplace, if you're trying to get the best price for something, you are not going to get that on Facebook Marketplace. People love to lowball. Now, the beauty of Facebook Marketplace is there's usually no shipping involved. The person lives in your local area, you meet them in a public place, hopefully, where you're not going to get shot, and you make an exchange of funds and goods, and then you go about your day. Most of the time, the sale can take place on the same day. So you're going to get your money probably on the same day or the next day that somebody decides they want to buy it. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of people like to lowball on Facebook Marketplace. But if you're looking to get something off your hands, it's a really viable option, and you don't have to worry about packaging it up and all this good stuff. And a good thing about Facebook Marketplace that eBay doesn't have is that you can let somebody, if they might think your shoes are fake, you can let somebody inspect those shoes on site and maybe decide they don't want to buy them if they think they're fake. But all the shoes I'm selling on Facebook Marketplace are real, so I don't think I'm ever going to have that problem, somebody accusing me of shoes being fake that are real. But anyway, so that's your, I said eBay was a very quick option for selling. Facebook Marketplace is actually probably quicker since you can meet the person in your local area. Now, the con of that is that you can only get your listing out to people in your local area. There is an option to provide shipping on Facebook Marketplace, but at that point, it's basically just like eBay. I've never gone through that process. If any of you guys have, let me know. Let me know if you like it better than eBay, because I'd imagine that you don't have to pay seller fees. So that might be a case where, yeah, you might want to do that instead of eBay. And then Craigslist. Craigslist is the platform that I'm definitely the least familiar with. I have not had good experience with Craigslist buying things. I bought a dog off Craigslist, and it didn't turn out well. I don't want to go into too much detail on that. But yeah, I bought a dog off Craigslist. I bought a few things off Craigslist that didn't really turn out well. I've never really sold anything on Craigslist, but in my opinion, it's just like Facebook Marketplace, but a little more sketchy. Now, I have seen people selling like designer clothing and, hype Jordan 1s and stuff on Craigslist. I think the good thing about Craigslist is that they have a category for basically everything. Now, this doesn't really apply to these other platforms, because obviously the other platforms have a lot of categories and everything. But Craigslist has just been around longer, so there's a lot more people using it possibly than Facebook Marketplace. There's not more people using it than eBay. But suffice it to say, if you aren't able to sell on any of these other platforms, maybe try Craigslist as a final avenue. Maybe you'll have a better experience than I've had with it. I don't typically try to sell on there. I know there's probably like some niche items you could probably sell on there that might do better, and you might be able to be a lot firmer on price on Craigslist than you will Facebook Marketplace, because like I said, people tend to be very wanting to get a good price on Facebook Marketplace and really lowballing. So I tend to list things way higher than what I actually want on Facebook Marketplace, since people tend to lowball. But anyway, guys, yeah, I just figured I'd touch on those platforms because I really only talked about Stockx and Goat the other day, and those are not the only two things you can sell with. You can definitely sell on these other platforms and do just as well without even having to, go through the trouble of, Stockx wants you to have your shoes perfectly packaged up and everything. You don't even have to package your shoes if you use Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist most of the time. You will if you have to use eBay, but definitely not as stringent, and it's going to get to the customer faster because it doesn't have to go get verified. And if you're selling some shoes like some New Balance 990s, I'm sure people make fakes of those, but fake Yeezys or fake Jordans are obviously way more prevalent than like New Balance 990 fakes. So you probably want to sell those on eBay instead of StockX, and then lose 15% of your sale price. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. If you have any reselling tips or any other platforms, like if you have any advice on like Poshmark or Mercari. I know I've sold on those before, but I really don't know much about them. So yeah, if you guys want me to make videos on that, or if you have any advice or any questions or anything, Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Trying to grow this sneaker channel here, guys, and I'll be back at you with more content soon. Peace.